We'd like to welcome you back to our second edition of Drug Awareness. Officer Raven and I today, the topic will be marijuana. Some of the areas that he will discuss will be basically this. What is it? How does it affect you physically? How does it affect you as far as criminal charges? And also, how does it affect you as far as your career goes? Officer Raven, can you tell us a little bit about this drug?
Marijuana, when you puff a joint, you inhale in a large amount of THC, the active ingredients of marijuana. Basically, the marijuana is affecting something else. The parts of the brain, it makes you slow down, like some people you may see who have glassy eyes, red shot eyes, slurred speech, which is some of the part of effects of marijuana. Usually when you start smoking marijuana in a young age, it's going to affect your brain cells. So it also increase your heart rates, lung respiratory irritation, coughing, and it increases your appetite also. So I brought some examples of marijuana so parents can look some examples of marijuana. As you can see, marijuana is a green leafy substance, as you can see here. Sometimes they roll it in like little Swisher Sweet cigars. Basically what the young people are doing, they're cutting the cigars, tobacco products out of cigars and placing it back in marijuana. That's why, as you see, this marijuana is in a bunch. Also, you want to look for some type of plastic containers in marijuana, green leafy substance. If you see something like this in a large quantity, more than likely these individuals are selling marijuana. But if you see 1 and 2, it's for personal use only. So these individuals are, this is called a dime bag, which is $10 bag. So what they do is they usually buy a dime bag, and they take the marijuana outside the dime bag and put it inside these Swisher Sweet cigars and make their own marijuana cigarettes. So that's what we're looking at on that. As you see scales, which is for distributing only. And these individuals are selling this marijuana types. Okay? So with that, that's what we have on that. Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Skirla?
Tell a parent or tell an individual what it smells like. What type of aroma are you looking for when you talk about marijuana?
Marijuana has a burnt smelling. It's like a smoke, but it's distinct smell. Once you smell it, you'll know it. I can't really put it in words, but when you smell it, you'll definitely know it. So
does it absorb in your clothes so that it doesn't go away?
Yes, and parents, I recommend you smell your children's clothes, smell their hands. If they're right-handed, smell the right hand. If they're left-handed, smell the left hand. And both, and you can definitely smell that distinct odor emitting from their hands.
So if a student or an individual is stopped by law enforcement and charged with a account of having marijuana, what are the legal ramifications?
Usually if a child is caught with marijuana inside a school campus or a drug-free zone, it's going to be a Class A misdemeanor, depending on how much the marijuana weighs. Usually on the streets, if you catch somebody with marijuana, it's a Class B misdemeanor. However, if you catch them in school, it enhances one, so it goes up to a Class A misdemeanor.
I'll also add that the school also does discipline on this, and by state law, if a student is caught with marijuana or any type of drug, it's an automatic DAEP placement. Now, Raven, tell us this. If a parent suspects their student of using marijuana, what should they do?
I will contact your local authority. If you stay inside the city limits, I will contact the Brenham Police Department. If you stay outside the city limits, let's say the county, I will contact your local sheriff's department.
Now, let's say, for example, if a community member suspects, say there might be some type of party going on where these drugs are used, what should they do?
I will contact your local police department, also or your Washington County Sheriff's Department if you stay inside the county. What that does, you call the dispatch and explain to them what you see, what you smell, what you think was going on, to be very detailed as much as possible so you can get that officer or deputy to be aware once he approaches their location.
Now, if a student is at school or away from school and they suspect somebody else of using it or bringing it to school, what would you tell them to do?
I would recommend a student to either contact your local administrator. If you want to contact me, you can be discreet with that, meaning you can slide a note underneath my office, and I'll pick that note up and read that note, or maybe you can be discreet with the principal. But remember, once you make that first initial contact with the principal and or me, it'll be discreet. We won't mention your name at all. So that's the best thing that's going on for this campus.
What are some of the things that we're doing here? I know that we have the contraband dog that comes and smells on the vehicles. What are some of the other things that we do at the high school?
Well, we usually being proactive as far as being out in the halls, talking to students, see if they see anything or smell anything. So we're working together side by side to make this problem disappear.
Thank you, Officer Raven, for bringing us this information to us. We look forward for you being back with us on next Wednesday. Have a good week.